here on the Muskegon Channel. I am Andy O'Reilly. Dave Cackley is over yonder, and is it a Wednesday?
Yes, it is.
Wow,
Already.
look at that. Kind of all runs together after a while when you're in the midst of life and, man, busy days, and that's all right, though.
Yep. Still champagning and campaigning or
doing all
verse
that.
versa.
Yep, did a little time in jail last night. Enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Did our reading program. I take great pleasure in going down there and being
That's
a part
a
of
very
that thing.
cool thing.
Yeah, it's cool. Then what? Today I've got a little bit of this, got a little bit of that. I'm gonna let me see this. This is what I live by now.
Yeah.
If it's not on the schedule, I don't do it. So, meeting, drop off some papers, pick this up, a meeting. Yeah. So yeah. Welcome to Wednesday.
Okay, I know you don't get up till the butt crack of 7:30 a.m. Which
Well, it was somewhere closer to 10
But-
to 8 today.
okay, fine.
Anyway, as you were saying,
When does your day end? I mean, take me through Andy's day. Now that you got all this going on.
Last night I got home about 7:30, quarter to 8.
Okay.
Quarter to 8. Yeah. Just depends on the day.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, then I got usually some Facebook stuff to write for other people and
Right.
things like that. So
You got the Positively
they're full
Muskegon
days,
thing
man.
going.
It's not like it's not like I'm taking the easy road, you know.
No, I was just curious as to, or is it, what's the biggest headache? What's the biggest problem? What's the biggest issue? I mean, you like mixing and mingling with people. That's not me. I don't really. I mean, that's where you and I are really different. Like, you really like being around people. I kind of tolerate being around people. I don't hate people. I don't dislike really anybody.
Right.
But I can kind of take or leave most people. But you genuinely enjoy being around other people, and I just wonder,
Well, there's this right about 8:30 every morning. I get this thorn, and it's right in the keister.
Right.
Right there.
Yeah.
So anyway, you
Gotcha.
take from that what you will.
Okay. All right. I'll just gloss over that.
What's in the news, man?
Okay, let's do it. Another school shooting, this one in Maryland. 17-year-old Austin Rollins fired a semi-automatic handgun at a 16-year-old female at Great Mills High School in Lexington Park. Another 14-year-old student was also hit. The 14-year-old is expected to be okay, while the female victim is in critical condition. Rollins was gunned down by a school resource officer. He was pronounced dead at a local hospital. This resource officer evidently acted really quick, like within less than 60 seconds.
You have to.
Before he got in there and obviously stopped. But you don't know if this girl was the only target, if the 14-year-old was just kind of got caught in the crossfire, or what was going on there. But
these are kids,
man. Yeah,
14, 16, dude.
That's scary stuff. But you had an officer there on scene and stopped what could have been a much more horrifically tragic incident.
To me, it gets back to the mental health question. I mean, kids at this age are dealing with mental health problems that bad. You know what? I remember if I was a wreck at 14 and 16 years old. Everybody's a wreck at 14 and 16 years old. But has it really gotten to that point where mental health issues are that strong in kids that age? God,
I don't know, man. Is it a breakdown of the family structure? What is it? Is it poverty? Is it? I mean, I don't know.
Life stress. Period. Is it everything that we see? Is it the polarization of our society?
Is it the soften? This is what I'm wondering. I'm no expert in
we're
like
both a couple of head scratchers here. Neither one. What do we know?
But what I mean is it the softening of kids' psyches where they just get broken so easily now? They're kind of almost like little China dolls emotionally in a lot of ways. It seems to me that and I'm not going to be the old guy shaking my cane at the young whippersnappers and say suck it up, but I'm saying suck it up a little bit. I think because we took an issue like bullying, which is a thing you want to address.
Yeah.
But now it's like everybody's a bully. Everything, we're trying to make kids not have to deal with anything themselves.
Right. But here's what you got to keep in mind. All right, let's go back to 85, 86, 84, when we were in this age. we didn't have the never-ending barrage of input that kids this age do.
Oh, absolutely. You're absolutely right.
You know what I mean? And it comes from every direction. And as we've seen over the last couple of years, and it's been proven now that not only do we have let's just go back to opinions. You know the old adage about opinions. Everybody's got one and they all stink. Like something else we all have. Back in our day, you heard opinions from your mom, your dad, maybe your aunts and uncles, and the neighbor guy and stuff like that, and you could process that. You could get it in. Now, you got your Facebook, you got your Twitter, you got your Instagram, you got this, you got that, you got TV, you got radio. It's just never ending on these kids, and it's just so much. And you gotta remember too, these kids are in puberty and they're trying to process their own thoughts and find their own way. And this never-ending barrage of information, misinformation, and purposely misdirected things that is influencing their lives, this is taking a toll. It really, you got to step back as a grown-up and go, what are these kids dealing with at this level that's really affecting them the way it is? And I don't think you can tell them to toughen up. I think that the amount of input that they're getting is just something that we never thought a teenage mind would have to deal with.
I think you're right to a point. I do think what kids have to process and absorb just from an informational standpoint with all this stuff coming at them, I don't know how that impacts you psychologically from social media to you name it, the drug problem with opiates, what it is. I mean, stuff that you and I didn't have to deal with.
Right.
But that said, I do think they need to toughen up. I do think maybe regular psychological counseling should be in order just in for most people can use it. But I think young people, especially at that age, when you're talking 13, 14 to 17, counseling is I think a huge thing, making sure that these kids are able to process this stuff and it's not having that type of negative impact, or at least they're able to deal with it in a constructive way. And
you come right back to the mental health issue. Everybody wants better mental health. How do you pay for it?
I don't know.
That's the thing. So
I mean, we keep, you know what? We keep pouring money. People talk about education and rightfully so, but we spend a ton of money on education.
Yeah.
It's not that we're not spending money on education. Maybe some of that needs to be funneled towards counselors and and psychiatrists and psychologists, and maybe that can help, having those people, not just your guidance counselors in schools, but an actual psychologist to deal with students and their problems.
There you go.
All right. What else is going on? Facebook is under fire, speaking of social media, for allowing the Trump-affiliated Cambridge Analytica to access the private information of users during the 2016 election. An estimated 50 million users were impacted. Social networking site did not inform those users that their details were being harvested. Facebook stock dropped over 7% in the wake of the news. That really, I mean, that's been a huge story over the last few days. Stock dropping like a rock. Facebook also impacted the election back in 2012. I think it was one of Obama's people was talking about how they were able to kind of use that effectively as well. So it's not like it necessarily has benefited one side traditionally over another, but they're talking about both sides, both the Republicans and Democrats are talking about or looking into regulating social networking sites. What do you think?
Regulating it?
Can you? Should you?
I mean, can you regulate the data that's allowed to be mined? That seems reasonable. I mean,
yeah.
But to regulate the freedom of speech on them and things like that, probably not.
Right. Yeah. I think you know what that is? That's a very astute political perspective from
it's not political at all. It's just a guy on the street, dude. You think I come in here to do the news every day with a political agenda on my mind? I don't.
I'm not saying you have a political agenda. Right. I'm saying that was a very astute political. It just was. It's very, because it was reasonable.
Yeah.
Very good. Good for you.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Dave.
All right.
I'm glad I got your seal of
Finally,
approval.
mine kind of accounts for more than most because I'm on the TV.
Oh, of
So,
course. That's right.
there you go.
are kind of a big deal.
Yeah. The nerds are invading downtown Muskegon. MuskeCon 2.0 going to feature comics, prints, and other memorabilia. The event takes place at the Holiday Inn Muskegon Harbor from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Saturday. Last year's inaugural event drew more than 1,200 people, so that's cool. And I like that the nerds embrace their nerddom.
Yeah,
I think
it's
that's
fun.
cool.
It was a fun event. We went down there last year. I'd hoped to get a story with Pete this year, and we just haven't worked out the time yet. I'm thinking I might try to slide down there and do a little Facebook Live thing, and he'll push the event along a little bit. Great guy, great fun thing to go through and be a part of. It really is a cool little event. So
I like that adults are. I like that adult nerds still feel comfortable, reading comic books and kind of getting into that. That's a cool thing. I still, there's still a few things from my childhood. I was never really into comics as a kid, like superhero stuff. That wasn't my thing. Were you into that when you were?
I was into
8, 9,
Kiss.
10.
I mean,
yeah, I know.
They were my superheroes when I was a kid. That was as big as it got for me, man.
Well, they were a comic book band. I mean, let's be honest.
And I don't think they made any bones about it. But
right.
It
was brilliant marketing.
Can I show you something? Want to see something cool? Want to see something cool and nerdy? All right, here.
Why not?
Way back when, and it was really hard to get because you had to send away for it and everything. But Kiss put out this transistor radio. And
sweet.
This one no longer works, but I have one. And it's got the Kiss on this side. It's got Kiss on that side. It's got the logos and all that kind of stuff. So there you go.
It won't work Kiss. Even if you put new batteries in it?
No, it's broken on the inside of it. The guts got kind of broke up. And
that's too bad.
Always wanted one. Yeah, see right there? Kiss radio.
Nice.
And then
good times.
I remember way back when I was a kid, I'd call the radio station. It's like, hey, can you play some Kiss? I don't play Kiss on my show.
Of course not. Why would I want to play a band that everybody likes? No, there'll be none of that.
Well, anyway, if
here's
you do
some
go to
Jackson Brown.
I'm going to recommend one stop. You got to stop by my buddy Jeremy DeWitt's booth. He's an artist. He does incredible things, and cool. he does drawings of like other cartoon characters of his own and things like that. So go see Jeremy DeWitt. Thank you.
Nice. Sports: Pistons beat the Suns 115-108. Red Wings over the Flyers 5-4. Michigan getting ready for their Sweet 16 matchup in Cali Thursday night. They'll take on Texas A&M 7:30 tip-off. That's sports.
Who's Michigan State taking on in the next round?
Don't do that to me, man.
Sorry, dude.
I've just been getting over it. These losses stick with me, especially season-ending ones.
Right.
The teams you shouldn't lose to. So I'm gonna rise above that.
Okay.
It'll be hard, but I'm a man. That's what we do. We rise above.
I'll have a hug for you the next time I see you.
No, there'll be none of that. See ya.